Overconfidence can ruin your life. Not insecurity, not fear, not doubt, confidence. Because there's a version of confidence that doesn't protect you, it blinds you. It makes you feel powerful while quietly pushing you toward disaster. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the exact moment confidence turns dangerous. The subtle shift most people never notice until the damage is done. I'll show you a real catastrophe caused by overconfidence and how to make sure it never becomes your story. Let's start somewhere uncomfortable. Imagine this. You've been winning. Promotions, compliments, results. People trust your judgment. You trust your judgment. Decisions feel easy now, fast, effortless. You stop double-checking. You stop asking for feedback. You stop preparing like you used to. Not because you're lazy, because you're confident. And that's the beginning. In 1912, the engineers behind the RMS Titanic were confident, not hopeful. Confident. It was called unsinkable. Safety warnings were minimized. Lifeboats were reduced because the ship was considered too advanced to fail. Iceberg warnings were ignored. Confidence didn't just support the mission, it silenced caution, and we know how that ended. Here's the psychological mechanism behind it. It's called overconfidence bias. Your brain loves patterns. When you succeed repeatedly, your mind starts compressing the story. I'm good at this. Then it upgrades the story. I can't fail at this. Notice the shift? Confidence is belief in ability. Overconfidence is belief in invulnerability. And invulnerability is dangerous. Because once your brain feels certain, it stops scanning for threats. It filters out contradictory data. It becomes selectively blind. Psychologists call this confirmation bias. You look for proof that you're right and unconsciously ignore proof that you're wrong. You think you're being decisive, but you're actually becoming rigid. And here's the twist most people miss. The more intelligent and successful you are, the more vulnerable you become. Why? Because your past wins become evidence in your internal courtroom. Every success strengthens your argument. I know what I'm doing. So when someone challenges you, it doesn't feel like feedback, it feels like disrespect. This is why top investors blow up accounts, why CEOs ignore warning signs, why high performers sabotage relationships. They don't fall because they lack confidence, they fall because they stop questioning it. Let me bring it closer to you. Think about your career. Have you ever assumed you'd figure it out without preparation? Ever dismissed advice because you believed you already understood the situation? Ever stayed in a toxic relationship because you were sure you could handle it? That subtle inner voice saying, "I've got this," that voice can build empires. It can also burn them down. Here's the counterintuitive truth. Doubt is not your enemy. Unexamined certainty is. The most dangerous point in any growth curve is not the beginning, it's the peak, when you feel untouchable. So how do you keep confidence without letting it mutate into arrogance? First, build a habit of pre-mortems. Before making a big decision, ask, if this fails spectacularly, why would it fail? Force your brain to imagine disaster. It reactivates caution. Second, create friction. Invite one person who disagrees with you to challenge your thinking, not someone who flatters you, someone who pushes back. Third, separate identity from performance. You are not your last win. When your ego fuses with your success, feedback feels like an attack. Keep them separate. Fourth, measure preparation, not just results. If something worked, ask, was this skill or luck? Success without reflection breeds delusion. And finally, practice calibrated confidence. That means saying, I believe I can handle this, and I might be wrong. That sentence alone protects you from blindness. Here's the emotional shift I want you to feel. You don't need to shrink your confidence, you need to discipline it. Real power isn't loud certainty, it's controlled conviction. It's the ability to move forward boldly while still scanning the horizon for icebergs. The Titanic didn't sink because it lacked strength. It sank because it believed it didn't need caution. Confidence is a tool. Overconfidence is a trap. And the difference is awareness. So the next time you feel unstoppable, pause. because the moment you feel untouchable might be the exact moment you're most at risk. And the strongest people in the room, they're not the ones who say, "I can't fail." They're the ones who say, "I respect the possibility that I could."